I mean, publicly. If we are talking about Joseph's name being widely known within the community, that's not the case. As you already stated before, Joseph is actually a rather unknown name publicly. Because for those who know, and there may be some of you at home, for those who know, we all know what a hidden boss Jojoseph is. BryanZ is widely known and regarded as one of the best Pokemon traders in the whole country. But Jojoseph, on the other hand, is basically this hidden boss Greninja that only stays and stands within his very same state, his very same region, and he already made a statement for himself. Just taking the first stock, the first lead is just a quick 47 game and faking that serious data against BryanZ.
Wow, what a game that he just made with the Hydro Pump at there. He is showing himself. I think they are loading the Pokemon Showdown afterwards because he's trying for it again. He read the jump. He goes for it 1 second time. The Hydro Pump Gimp was going to come through a second time around right there. And Brian forced into the defensive. However, we know the consistency on Squirtle's combos could also come into factor. And this is for sure to be a punish. Second time, not quite there, as Brian did try for the up B, but not managing to land it home. I mean, trailing quite a bit, and I mean, typing advantages are not a thing here in Smash. So, like, Brian is gonna have to work a lot to get this stock, especially if Jojoseph is able to play his cards correctly to just abuse that speed, that annoyingness that Greninja can have versus this Ivysaur or maybe even a Charizard.
Yeah, I mean, as you already stated before, the fighting chart actually doesn't matter whatsoever in this in this game. It doesn't necessarily come as a matter of discussion. But of course, as you already know, Ivysaur is such a well-rounded character that it does come to play whenever he's facing Greninja. There's a lot of those that actually could contest and face directly against a ninja to win on that situation. But on the other hand, you just have control of the stage and control of the facing is actually taking a lot of tolls onto, and a lot of those and a lot of taxes onto BryanZ's game style.
Yeah, and as I was pointing out earlier with Simba, the thing about Jojoseph is that he is such an experienced competitor. However, where he lacks a bit is in the optimization department. And here, Brian going for the edge guard, not letting me prove the point right there as he is going for it. But the invincibility still just raw forward smash, and it goes for it. That is exactly the type of stuff that I expect to see from Jojoseph here, just brute forcing his way in a lot of situations, and Greninja is definitely the type of character that can benefit from that if you get the right reads, because of course you do need that to make that game plan work.
And now that you put it out, Joseph's lack of optimization within his game style, I actually feel that you could narrow things down to that. There's only two types of players within this game, either those who are experienced or either those who are optimized. We have seen that before time to time. Upsets have been made due to the fact that you are the best of your character and you have tech that no one has trained you before for that. But on the other hand, you can see other people that just manages to keep playing and actually exchanging blows with each other just by mere experience. And that's exactly what Jojoseph is doing right now. He's just going for raw hits. He's not trying to exactly combo or go for any confirms. He's just taking raw damage each time against Brian, and that's working him out.
Yeah, and I love that Brian took the patience, the moment to actually go for it. He is to actually, like, take a second into recovery. Here, he's trying to abuse that platform. This could be very huge for both characters, as Greninja can get some of those drag downs, or Ivysaur can get the confirms with the aerials, and he will, and delete that stock critical hit coming in at the end, that Vine Whip. Just making sure that that Greninja stock was way off the blast zone. So BryanZ is gonna take this first game. Quite the Pokemon trainer matchup here. And I mean, we did see it. Jojoseph was a couple of decisions away from actually taking that first game, and let's see if he can adapt faster than Brian, because that is a thing that we did see in previous sets of him, especially versus Nair, where like the adaptation was the name of the game for BryanZ. So, I mean, it's all about that here in this second game in Town City.
And endurance. I mean, one factor that you gotta actually take into account is endurance, the mental stability that you have to have. After taking a series to death out of Hydro Pump at 47% on the very first stock, I feel like the one and only adjective that I can give BryanZ, it's endurance at this point. On the other hand, though, Jojoseph is starting quite rough against Bryan. He's already making quite a statement with an 86% on raw damage himself. But on the same time, I feel like the one who's actually taking the pace or taking the lead, or at least changing the pace, is BryanZ at this point. I don't feel like Joseph has been downloaded. It's quite early to say that Joseph has been downloaded. But I feel like the connection just getting speedier and speedier each time.
Oh yeah, like it for sure is like that. That provider is working extra time right now to make sure that Bryan can keep up with Jojoseph, as he is still leading, but not by much. Only 1% separating now after that water shuriken. And well,
he's got the bandwidth. He's got the bandwidth. He's been
for sure
the optic fiber, man.
He is getting that new tech ready that we don't even get access to. But as far as the spacing goes here, Joseph trying to force something going with the shuriken. However, he is going to find himself at the wrong end of Squirtle punish. And the thing is that the resets from Squirtle are very, very menacing, especially versus this super fast forward characters. Like, he can still force a lot, and Greninja is not the keenest character out of shield. So that could come very well into play, as we've seen Bryan constantly harass the shield of the other player. And especially with Squirtle, like, the mix-ups that you can get out of that are magnificent. Perhaps not so much with Ivysaur, but like, as far as racking up damage goes, like, that has been his forte. So now it's just a matter of whether or not he can get that setup with the backers, and he will. And then again into the Vine Whip, just as he closed out that first game. He is looking to do that with this second one.
The optimized player against the experienced player, once again showcasing the importance that you have to have of the knowledge of your character, you know?
Yes.
Every single time that BryanZ has had a chance to confirm the backer into the obby, he's taken it. Every single instant. And as soon as I say so, he does so once again. He just came here to prove me right, and that's exactly what I appreciate of BryanZ. Such a gentleman, not to leave me hanging with a word of phrase that I have already given him. That's the second game that BryanZ has taken, and he just one game away of going to grand finals.
And I'm a little surprised because of the angle at which that Vine Whip hit. I know you can angle it, and there is quite a leeway to angle it, as you might have noticed. But, like, still, like, I think that Jojoseph was not scared. Like, he was like, I'm going to DI away and try to position myself and make it as hard for you to get this confirmed, because, of course, he knows he's going to be coming. Like, he's played versus Bryan, he's played versus Surge. He knows that Ivysaur has that type of option. However, here, Bryan is still, again, maybe taking a page away from Jojoseph's own playstyle and just brute forcing that option. And here, I'm not gonna lie, we were talking about that bandwidth. Jojoseph looking a little lost after that upgrade from Bryan 2-0, and very well into territory for going into grand finals.
Dude, forget the bandwidth. My man's got 5G at this point. He's got the 5G. He's got the 5G chips installed, he said. But this is actually unlikely. On the other end, Joseph has already taken the first stock on this third game. I feel like this is the rage factor. At this point, you have to go or to commit for more aggressive options than before, since you have everything to lose at this point. I feel like on the first game, Joseph was just showcasing what he had to offer. On the second game, he was playing conservative. On the third game, he's playing aggressively. But that has already taken the toll. He's already claimed those taxes back and forth with that forward smash. And BryanZ already making the statement all the way to 60%.
Yeah, he is getting more and more, pushing him away. The Nair was coming, and the thing is that he can still reset, and he will get those next Vine Whips. He is just not missing with those. If the same effectiveness that he's showing here is going to be showing in grand finals, then I'm scared for whoever is trying to get that reset, as it is looking like the more likely option at this point. Jojoseph, we cannot count him out. However, we cannot discount as well the fact that Bryan is playing incredible and getting every read that he needs, like just the conversions, showing up, perhaps here escaping because of Greninja's fast faller capabilities. However, still the damage has been coming in very steadily, and he will get the reset, and he might get the stock if he had charged it a little more, even pushing. So, like, as far as optimization goes, the damage is showing, and yet again, from side to side, and with the up smash, that is it. Grand finals for BryanZ 3-0 fashion. Just looking dominant at that point. He was missing those jab reset confirms earlier, but no longer, and that is the way that he punches, or maybe I should say up smashes his ticket into grand finals. So great showing there, and as a Pokemon trainer, a fan myself, well, I am very glad to see like the best display of this character in Mexico City. As you might have heard, one of the strongest regions